One day away from game day in Terre Haute yet again as the North Dakota State Bison, ranked second in the country, will be stampeding the Terre Haute. We hope you join us on the broadcast with Countdown the Kickoff starting at noon with Brian Fritz and myself, Luke Martin. Great to have you with us. And Fritzy, another challenge awaits. It's kind of every week we've done this preview. I think I've started with another big challenge awaits the Sycamores this weekend, but there is no other way to describe it. It is a tall one. But this is an opportunity that I think any college football team that you're wanting to go against great competition, you have that this weekend with the Bison.
If our schedule's the New York skyline, this is the Empire State Building this week. You know, North Dakota State, with having won 5 national championships this decade, obviously they've been the gold standard. You know, there's no question about that. Again, I don't think there's any mystery with what North Dakota State's going to come into the game wanting to do. They've basically built their program and foundation on being able to run the football on offense and being able to stop the run on defense. And, you know, anytime you match up with North Dakota State, that's always got to be, you know, where you start in terms of trying to match their physicality and being able to do that. And that's, you know, obviously their record speaks for itself. You know, their program has been built to where, you know, predominantly only juniors and seniors play a lot of years for this team because the depth in their program is such that, you know, they can have guys that, you know, aren't asked to play as true freshmen or step in as redshirt freshmen. I mean, it's just, again, really the gold standard of what you would want your program to become.
Offensively for them, they get so much credit for being that power run team. And Stick is a guy who made his first career start at Memorial Stadium when he filled in for a guy by the name of Carson Wentz, who, by the way, I think has had himself a pretty good career at North Dakota State and, of course, now in the NFL. But I don't think he gets enough credit for what he can do through the air. I mean, you mentioned the damage he can do with his legs, but this is a guy that hasn't thrown an interception in 106 passes, but also he has been able to rack up over 4,000 yards through the air in the career. I think he's a much better thrower than what he gets credit for.
I think that's fair when you look at his numbers. I also think that because of that running game, he's not getting hit a lot when he drops back to throw. Their offensive line has always been a real strength of this football team, and I think when you look at guys, you mentioned Wentz, but when you look at guys across NFL rosters, offensive linemen have been an area where North Dakota State's really graduated a lot of players onto that next level. So, you know, Stick definitely, you know, has been able to throw the ball really well. He also, you know, gets a lot of time to throw the ball, and the fact that opponents have to respect the run so much, I think helps set that up.
You mentioned being able to respect the run. I'm pretty sure Coach Wilson and the defensive staff are going to respect that run for North Dakota State, but so far each and every week this season, even though there were a few explosion plays last week, it has seemed that Indiana State defense has been able to rise to the occasion a bit. What makes you feel, Fritzy, that this weekend we could see the same thing and Coach Wilson's crew could possibly show on a much bigger stage what they can do defensively, and that front seven continues to show why it's a big strength?
Yeah, they've been really, really solid throughout the year, and I think last week in particular, missing some guys in that front seven, it showed up that the depth there might be a little better than, you know, what we had thought it was maybe at the beginning of the year. I thought that group, you know, did a really good job in the game against Illinois State. They're going to have a huge challenge on Saturday, but still, that group has held up really well. You know, it's just, I think even Grant said, it's just football, too, at the end of the day. It's about blocking and tackling, and, you know, we've got to win some of those matchups, and those guys have got to, you know, match their physicality and hold their own in there.
Do you remember still how to get to Memorial Stadium and up to the press box?
I do. Yeah, it's been a long time, but it's certainly nice to have another home game.
We hope all of you remember how to get to Memorial Stadium, and we see you tomorrow. Again, kickoff is 1 o'clock Eastern time right here in Terre Haute. We hope to see you at Memorial Stadium, but if you can't make it out, you can listen to the pregame radio call again starting at noon with the Pepsi Countdown the Kickoff. For my partner, Brian Fritz, I am Luke Martin. We'll see you tomorrow at Memorial Stadium. March on!